So behind the glitz and the glamour and the flashing lights and the red carpet, we all know that Hollywood has an extremely dark side to it. And today's video, we're going to be deep diving into that and talking about some of the most eerie conspiracy theories that have persisted about Hollywood for decades. From Illuminati initiations to bizarre celebrity disappearances, leaked industry secrets, and different occult or Illuminati symbols being, hidden in plain sight. There are so many different dark secrets about Hollywood, so let's get into it. So I actually want to start kind of in the beginning. So the origins of Hollywood's dark secrets. Hollywood has always been a place of power, control, and hidden agendas since its earliest days. People theorize that the industry was built by a small group of elite figures, many with ties to organized crime, like the mob or mafia, and also different secret societies and the occult. But no one's exactly fully sure what's actually going on in Hollywood, but there have been many different conspiracy theories over the last 100 years of different people being involved, and how there's just dark energy to Los Angeles, specifically Hollywood in general. So Hollywood has some pretty dark origins. A lot of people believe that Hollywood was created by a handful of powerful men, and a lot of people also believe that it is a machine for influence and control, which that I do kind of agree. I think celebrities are used as puppets probably more than they even realize, with, trying to spread messages throughout the media, and it has worked for as long as it's existed. Even in the days of the Beatles, we saw John Lennon and other Beatles members honestly holding different anti-war rallies, and it was getting people, and young people specifically, on the side of anti-war. So a lot of people think that people in the government, the higher up, the Illuminati, whatever you want to believe, use Hollywood celebrities to help spread a message that they are trying to convey. A lot of people think that the celebrities don't even realize that they're being used like this. So that's kind of the conspiracy side of it, but from what we know about Hollywood, genuinely know, it's a dark place. The casting couch culture is legitimately a real thing where powerful executive producers would exploit young actresses, models, singers, and that was never really a secret. That wasn't a thought, that wasn't a conspiracy theory, that was just part of the system, and it still is to this day. In the 1920s to the 1950s as well, it's more well documented at that point of time that the studios had complete control over the actors' lives, forcing them into contracted relationships, drug use, and public personas that weren't really their own. And we've seen this happen with Judy Garland, specifically, who was forced into doing drugs at 16 years old so that she could work longer hours. And again, now there are implications and rules to prevent children from being overworked in Hollywood, but it's still interesting because who knows what's actually going on behind closed doors. There's a lot of key figures here from the 1920s to 1950s that really point to Hollywood's dark side. So there was a man named Aleister Crowley, who is a famous occultist, and he was rumored to have several ties with many early Hollywood figures and influenced secret rituals. And a lot of people think this could be kind of the origin of where the Illuminati and stuff comes into play in Hollywood. This also led a lot of people to believe at the time that Hollywood's elites were involved with the secret societies like the Freemasons, which is theorized to be connected to the Illuminati. A lot of the origin of Hollywood's dark secrets are nothing new necessarily, but since the power of the internet and people being able to share stories over time, we really get to know that a lot of these secrets that were going on could either be still going on to this day, or just points at the fact that no one knew that this was happening at the time of the 1930s, 1950s. And that's freaking insane. These major studios basically owned their stars, completely controlled their image, their personal lives, their marriages. Some of the most famous stars to this day, like I said, Judy Garland, Marilyn Monroe, they're all rumored to be industry pawns that were passed around by powerful men and eventually silenced, which 100% I think we all believe in the case of Marilyn Monroe, considering her involvement with the Kennedy brothers. It was just really interesting to see how tightly knit the politics and the Hollywood elite circles really ran together. Because now it's not that they're not really together anymore. It doesn't feel as prominent. I don't feel like we see any president, having affairs with different celebrities anymore. That would be insane. Imagine, I'm trying to think of a similar scenario to Marilyn Monroe and JFK, but I honestly feel like I cannot even think of one. I mean, there's a rumor that Jennifer Aniston is dating Barack Obama, but that's just the weirdest rumor ever. Jennifer Aniston was like, girl, I haven't even met him. It just is interesting to me that they were so intertwined at the time, and I think it kind of further proves the theory that there is some dark shit going on in Hollywood because they were so connected within the government, and the US government, we all know, who trusts it? Nobody. So when you talk about the dark side of Hollywood, obviously the Illuminati is going to be a big portion of this video, and the Illuminati is basically a secret society that allegedly controls Hollywood's elite. Many people believe that the most powerful celebrities are initiated into the Illuminati, and those who refuse to comply basically face exile or worse, like possibly death. So it makes you question, what is the price of such a insane level amount of fame? And the answer seems to be, with the Illuminati, complete control. So we've talked about the Illuminati several times, obviously, on this channel, and I have been very back and forth on what I think of the Illuminati and who I think is a part of it. And I thought for a long time that it was mainly like governmental figures and, you know, faceless billionaires that were in the Illuminati and not necessarily your everyday celebrity. And while I still think that could be true, I do think that it's strange, for one, how many celebrities have just denied being a part of the Illuminati on lie detector tests, because I just think that was kind of weird. I feel like that's a new thing lately, and I think they're all doing it, and I'm just like, is this supposed to make us believe you? Like, I don't know. Because obviously, like, how are we supposed to say the lie detector tests are actually real? It's not like they're taking a polygraph in front of us. It's on a video that's edited. But nonetheless, I've always thought that it was more governmental and higher up people in the industry, even like Jeffrey Epstein, like that type of vibe. But I do think there are some situations where celebrities get intertwined with it, like P. Diddy, for example. I'm not saying that necessarily he's in the Illuminati, but I'm saying the things that he got caught doing are obviously incredibly nefarious and disgusting, and similar to what we think the Illuminati could get up to. I also think there have been a lot of stars that have spoken out against the Illuminati. Specifically, one that has always really interested me is Michael Jackson, because I think the way that he spoke about the industry and the music industry, it made it seem like there were at least some truth to these conspiracy theories, and then he just died. So do I think that he was murdered by the Illuminati specifically? I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily believe in a specific organization called the Illuminati, or if I just think that there are people who are higher up in different industries, whether it's music industry or film industry, whatever, that are threatening these celebrities to get them to comply with whatever they want them to do for fame, which is kind of essentially the basis of the Illuminati. I think that could be happening, but on probably a smaller scale, or like maybe there's multiple groups and it's not really like a named secret society, if that makes sense. I mean, for example, with P. Diddy, Lil Rod, the person who set up this P. Diddy lawsuit in the first place, he specifically said that he was told by these producers, by P. Diddy, that if he didn't comply to doing these very disgusting acts, that he would blackball his career. It would ruin his career. And he would get famous if he went along with these things. That's concerning, because that is what we think and believe the Illuminati to be. But in my head, I think the Illuminati is less so like one specific group of people, but just realizing the most powerful people and different governments and different police departments, all of these things have corrupt people in them who can be basically bargained or leveraged to be doing very dark things or covering up very dark things in order to further their career or to just stay out of the like blackballed list. And I think we've seen this to be proven true. I mean, like, let's look at what happened with Jeffrey Epstein. Obviously, Jeffrey Epstein was not doing what he did alone. There probably were several celebrities, politicians, billionaires, the whole 9 yards, who very well knew what was going on. Maybe they weren't even participating in what he was doing, but they turned a blind eye because they were scared either for their lives or for their careers. And that is what I think the Illuminati is kind of all about. It's like I said, I don't know if it's like necessarily so much of an organized group the way that people make it seem in conspiracy videos, but I do definitely think something dark is happening here. Obviously. It's just without a shadow of a doubt. So, speaking of the Illuminati, I kind of want to talk about how a lot of people think that a lot of celebrities allegedly sell their souls to the devil and have these rituals, and that is how they achieve Hollywood success. And I kind of think that this could be true in regards to the other theory that I was just talking about, which is that, you know, a lot of celebrities are forced to turn a blind eye or participate in very disgusting things that they wouldn't normally want to do or turn a blind eye to in order to further their career. And I do think that that is the case. Whether it's actually selling your soul to the devil or if it's just, you know, ignoring these terrible fucking things that you see happening just so you don't get blackballed in this industry, I do think that that's 100,000% happening. I mean, we've seen it. We've literally seen that happen. It's kind of insane. There have been a lot of celebrities who openly say that they sold their soul to the devil for fame. A lot of times people think that it was a joke, but at the same time, I think these deals with the devil could be quite literal in the sense of the conspiracy theory of the Illuminati overall, or they could be quite metaphorical in the sense of what we've actually literally have seen happen in Hollywood, which is people like P. Diddy, Jeffrey Epstein getting in trouble for doing very disgusting things, and other celebrities being involved or turning a blind eye to what was happening so that they could continue their careers. That's dark. That's dark shit. It is very dark that Lil Rod literally said verbatim what we've been thinking and assuming for years about Hollywood. Like, I feel like people don't understand how extreme that is to actually know that, I mean, obviously we knew the casting couch was real. And once that became like knowledge that we all knew existed, it was scary to show that there were a level of things that people are willing to do to get famous and protect their career. And that's pretty terrifying because that gives people who are, you know, the heads of the music industry, the heads of different political parties and whatever, that gives those people a lot of fucking leverage to control different human beings. And that's fucking scary. Like, I'm telling you, money controls people, and obviously, but like, I do think this is so much more than just a theory because we see it genuinely happening. There's a lot of celebrities that could be linked to these theories, and maybe, I guess, the idea that some celebrities are waking up and trying to expose the truth is kind of another thing, because a lot of people think that they are just trying to be perceived as crazy, or someone's trying to make them seem crazy so that we don't listen to what they're saying. And Britney Spears has always been one of them. A lot of people think that she is a victim of Hollywood control and that her breakdown and conservatorship are just basically extreme signs of mind control. I mean, Britney has been talking about for years that she was literally controlled by her handlers. Like, she was saying this and screaming this from the mountaintops, and a lot of people were ignoring it and just writing her off as crazy. But name a better way than just making someone seem crazy to invalidate whatever it is they're saying. I don't know. And I go back and forth on this with Kanye West specifically because he just says very disgusting, disturbing, hateful things for no reason, but he has also tried to speak out against the industry and the Illuminati as a whole. But lately, he's just like off the rails. Honestly, again, I just think Kanye West has drug-induced psychosis. So I wouldn't know if I would necessarily take anything that he says that literally. Especially, obviously, the hateful things are disgusting. Like, he is very disturbing. But nonetheless, I do think it's interesting when you see these celebrities speak out against the industry. I think Amanda Bynes is also a really good example of this because she started out obviously as a super successful child star and then suddenly spiraled into erratic behavior. And a lot of people believe that she is a victim of being a child star to an industry puppet kind of pipeline, and was basically discarded when she tried to break free and placed into a conservatorship. And again, I just think that there is something strange to know about these celebrities who have no control over their lives. Britney Spears and Amanda Bynes particularly, like, being in a conservatorship is pretty fucking insane because that's not something that normally happens. I want to make that abundantly clear. Conservatorships are usually not used for people who, let's say, they are drug addicts or have some sort of mental illness. That's just not what's supposed to happen in these situations. Conservatorships are for people who are very, 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 like, old usually, or people who are literally vegetables. This isn't just for people who are going through a hard time. So I've always thought this was a very interesting point here because I don't know if I think that Britney Spears and Amanda Bynes were trying to like expose the industry in any way. I mean, do I think it's interesting that Amanda Bynes was obviously so closely connected to Dan Schneider, who ended up being exposed? Yeah, and I do think that it's weird that she's in a conservatorship. And I'm not saying that her or Britney seem perfectly well and like capable. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. But I also think that it is strange for these celebrities to be placed into conservatorships that are so strict like that, when that's like not really something that is commonly seen amongst people who are drug addicts or who have issues with like taking care of themselves in a manner that I guess people would like to view, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know. I just think that the way that they were being hidden and like kicked off social media, not being allowed to use their own social media, was very strange. And I'm not even necessarily sure what I think it all means, but I don't love it, you know? When you talk about Hollywood in general, you definitely have to talk about the price of betrayal and mysterious deaths / disappearances that have happened after people have spoken out against certain nefarious things happening within Hollywood. Again, Marilyn Monroe is a really big one to add to this theory because allegedly Marilyn felt like she was being followed up until her death. She said that she was going to get killed. She said that she knew too much information and that she felt like she was being watched and trapped. And I do think that that's pretty fucking interesting that her death was ruled as a suicide when meanwhile there's so many discrepancies with her death in general. And obviously she was literally involved with the sitting president and his brother. The idea that she just either committed suicide or had an accidental overdose, to me, has never sat right with me. I never believed that. I always believed, and so do a lot of people who were friends with her and her family members, 100% believed that Marilyn wanted to expose some stuff that was going down in the US government, and in return, she was allegedly killed. And I've always believed that theory because there's just too many discrepancies here. I do think all of these theories really do prove that there is a dark side of Hollywood. I don't think anyone is really necessarily debating that, but I do also believe and agree with the fact that there is a lot of stuff that we really don't know. And I think when we talk about the Illuminati, I think we only know half of the story, genuinely. And like I said, I do think there are several different groups of higher up people who are threatening different celebrities, artists, or even just random everyday people who have all this power and money and are holding it over people's head. I mean, we've all seen in our lives how money can change people. Imagine when it's magnified, like a significant amount of money or power, fame, whatever you want to call it. It's pretty dark what kind of shit is actually going down here, and I just think this is only scraping the surface, really. I want to hear your guys' thoughts and theories. Which Hollywood conspiracy theories do you believe in the most? What do you think? What's creeping you out the most from this video? Let's talk about it in the comments below. I think whether or not you believe in these theories, it's pretty clear that at least Hollywood has a lot of secrets and everything is not as it seems. But anyway, that is it for today's video. If you guys liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below, like I said, what you thought about these theories. Any other Hollywood theories that you may have, please share them below. Let's talk about them in the comments. And yeah, that is it. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, and subscribe for new videos every week, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.